Hello, Talk Funders. Today we're joined by Michele from Divorce Diaries and her TV pilot based on her one-woman comedy show. Hello, Michele.
Hi, Alan. Thank you for having me.
Not at all, Michele. Michele, I think we'll just dive straight into looking at your GoFundMe page. And it's just a live, you've just launched this week, actually. I think you're 5 or 6 days into it, Michele.
Yeah.
And already I can see the humor in the Divorce Diaries, which at times divorce is not very a happy occurrence, but somehow in your journey through going through divorce and looking after your special needs child, you've really turned this in poison into medicine, shall we say, and you've had developed your sense of humor through this. And this is the basis of your, first of all, your is it a stand-up routine you did or a comedy routine, and now it's evolving into a TV pilot, which is the reason why we're doing the GoFundMe today. So I just love, first of all, I love the photograph. Okay.
I didn't cut off. They wouldn't let me do the whole thing, but my daughter's hanging from my arms.
Oh, really?
That's her. I'm trying to hold on to her. The GoFundMe page had to crop it, so I was like, okay. But when we take a few glances at my website, you'll see that my daughter's attached to me, and those were real shots of her not behaving appropriately in the photo shoot.
Okay, we'll look at that in a moment. So let's just literally look at the GoFundMe page, Michele, and really talk through really why you're raising this in fund for this TV pilot today. So you're very clear on this here. I'll just read the question that you posed, which is, what is Divorce Diaries and where does your donation go? So it really, you're upfront and you're very transparent in everything, Michele. So fair play to you on that. So let's just talk about it. You're saying it's a 22-minute mockumentary filmed in New Jersey and New York City.
Yes. So I was raised in North Jersey, Patterson, Clifton, and I moved, I've lived here my whole life, and I do stand-up comedy in New York City. And that's why it's being filmed there. I felt like, we're filming in my apartment. We're filming at the comedy club where I do the live comedy show of Divorce Diaries, which is me performing stand-up, improv, and sketch comedy. And that's where the revolving craziness, the organized chaos, I guess you'd say, takes place.
Wow. Okay. And what is the show about? I mean, the main features you're saying in here, it's not that nice a subject, it's a post-divorce journey through teaching kids with special needs and dating men with special needs.
Yeah, I have that in there because that's been a tagline of the show since I started working on the show. I am a theater teacher, and I went into teaching when I was getting married because I was acting full time, and I kind of needed to stabilize myself, which I hate saying that because teaching can be pretty unstable too when you see the show. As a theater teacher, though, I found a new love for my passion of acting to help kids learn and heal and grow. So when I was teaching in various places in New Jersey, I specifically loved teaching kids with special needs, and I centered the show specifically around her teaching special needs in basically self-contained classes, which is 4 to 6 kids. And I just thought that it was funny. One day I was driving to work. I'm like, I teach kids with special needs and I date men with special, and it just popped into me because all the men I was dating, I get people say to me, oh, well, are you dating, handicapped men? Like, are you making fun of them? I'm like, no, I'm not making fun of the men. I'm making fun of myself. These men literally have commitment. They're allergic to my commitment pheromones, right? So that, and they're always an issue. They're unavailable. They've been hurt. They have tons of baggage that they're projecting onto me. There's a learning curve with them. I have to sit there and explain what I mean.
And that's the material for your show. And just off camera, you were saying that you've been really developing this mockumentary over the last 5 years of performance in the comedy club. I didn't realize, is that a comedy club in New Jersey or is it New York?
So Broadway Comedy Club has been the resident home of Divorce Diaries, I want to say since November of 2018. And prior to that, I had developed it throughout a bunch of different spots in New York City as a one-woman theater piece. And then I just felt like I was doing stand-up. I have this background in improv. Why don't I make this like the funniest thing ever? Because that's what I rather laugh at the farcical situations that I put myself in, that I get stuck in, because it allows people to relate without feeling like I need to go put another prescription order for Xanax or whatever your, drug of choice for depression is. I honestly felt that way. I was like, I'd rather laugh about this. I had my girlfriends come to one of the shows when it was just a theater piece and they were crying afterwards. And I was like, ooh, I don't want them to come here looking depressed. I want them to be happy and laughing and like, Traina, you're so crazy. This is inspiring. And it's not to say that dramedy or drama of divorce doesn't inspire people, but I'm a humorous person. My entire family I was raised on creating stories that make you laugh. So I just felt like it was a natural, organic thing to do with Divorce Diaries.
And then is the material for the mockumentary, the 22-minute mockumentary, is that all you've written that yourself, or have you had other teams coming in to help you?
All me, baby. I have had people say, you should get another writer to write with, because like my experience in writing is I'm still I'm a writer, but I'm a beginner. I don't have anything on Netflix yet or Amazon yet, but I'm going to get there. And I wouldn't like negate someone saying, hey, we're going to produce your show, but we need a writing team. Yeah, sure. But right now where I'm at, it's so near and dear to my heart. I wrote the pilot. I have a creative team that's guiding and assisting me so that when they have questions, they give feedback and I take that and then I reapply it. So right now I'm the writer.
Okay, fantastic. So let's move from the performance, refining the performance over 5 years. So now you're raising funds on the GoFundMe for the TV pilot. And as I say, going back to your own transparency, you're raising this funds, as it says here on the GoFundMe page. It's for production costs, crew, cast, and marketing of the pilot. So you've obviously assembled, as you were alluding to just a few moments ago, a really good professional team. So you really want this really top-class quality, top-class broadcast quality. I take it for you then to go to see the likes of the Amazons and the Netflix of this world. Is that really the gist of it?
Yeah, so production itself, I've had people say to me, you need $80,000 to do a TV pilot, bare minimum. And I was laughing. I was like, no, I don't have that. Okay, well, I'm doing it. So you can see the Divorce Diaries is happening right now. You can grab something, but mommy's in a call right now. And I came up with a number with a friend of mine who's produced his own pilot, who has sold 2 films. We came up with a budget of $15K to shoot it. People have done it for less and people have done it for way more, but I can't leave the call right now. So we created a budget and it's for crew, for cast, for marketing and equipment, right? And that is kind of where we're at. We're trying to we had raised I think it was 3,700. No, we hit 4,000 on the Indiegogo. And then Indiegogo's up in 60 days. So I had a freeze and I was like, okay, I got to start a GoFundMe because we have to keep fundraising. And that's why it's 11K, because we had, let's see, yeah, we reached 4,000 and I had to do some adding there. And now, we're trying to make it there. June 23rd is when we shoot, and we're trying to hit our goal by June 1st so that we can have everything in place.
Well, that's a great date. So it's going to run for the rest of April and into May. And it's really good we've caught you here in the first week of the campaign. So let's just look at this. I mean, just to reinforce again, as it says here on the GoFundMe page, this shows the first look into a working class single mom living in New Jersey who's attempted to film her reality show. And I love this bit here: The Office meets American mom on amphetamines.
Because that's my life. I'm on I'm constant, I feel like we're constantly rushing, we're constantly running. And when you get to see the pilot, anybody who donates to the show sees the pilot. Once it's done, they have a private screening. It's going to be virtual. And then if we are near you and we can figure out a screening, there's going to be a screening in my town for free.
Okay.
Yes, those are dirty.
And we'll just leave the actual main looking at the YouTube part of us to give you more, to give the talk funders just more info, but I'll just allude to it in this interview, and we'll look at it in greater depth in the backstory. But I'll just show, there's a link here that takes you to YouTube. And just 1 second, there it is there. And there's a great clip here about our GoFundMe, which I recommend potential donators to look at. But we'll go into that in more depth in the backstory interview later. But let's just look, just to concentrate as we finish off the main interview, just explaining these graphics here, which you've just actually added to the campaign.
Yes.
So it's, if you could just go through these, Michelle, would be great.
So I have it pulled up on my phone too, so I can see. I'm a visual and kinesthetic learner. So what I did was, I hate fundraising and asking for people for money, because I'm a single mom. I live paycheck to paycheck, and I am investing my own money, but I don't have 11K in the bank sitting out. I got to make sure I have at least 3 to 6 months worth of money in my bank account for my child and I, and then I'm investing my money that I can have that's aside from that into Divorce Diaries full flow, right? So with that said, I said, let me see what would be something that people might want to pay for, like a ticket, right? So if you donate any size, anything, separated, we call it separated, right? You're at the early stage. Social media shout out, and you get a ticket to the private screening of the pilot. Now, this week I decided, hey, I'm doing a virtual edition of the show. Everybody who's donated gets the link. And a lot of the times, here's the thing, virtual editions are happening throughout the world, and there's a lot of them that are free. I was doing mine for free. I'm still going to continue. If someone reaches out to me and says, hey, I want to come see the show, all right, sure. But we're fundraising. You got to just pick up a quick ticket, $5, if they can, of course. And so that's what you get if you're separated or any size donation. Then the next one is, I called it filed. You filed, it's $150. This is cheaper than if you file for divorce, just so you guys know. You get all of the separated perks, a social media post of your business or brand, and then a 30-minute virtual divorce diaries. I have about 5 donors right now that have set up virtual editions of the show. I just did a show for the New Haven Bar Association yesterday. It was amazing. You get the show brought to your living room, your office, for just you and your employees. And then there's the next step is a $250 donation, which is called mediating. You guys are going to work it out. It's just a good size, but you are getting divorced, right? Sometimes when people file, they dismiss the divorce like I did. So you're not sure. But now we're going on to the next level. Get a little pricier. $250, still cheaper than the actual mediation service. You get all the additional separated perks and filed perks, social media posts of your business or brand, and you get an ad on my website. So like I think I have to add there that you also get all the perks included in filed. So if you, as higher as you go, you get all the additional perks plus the perks that you are at. They get the virtual edition. It's a lot, and that's the virtual edition is priced at $150 normally when I do the show. So this is, you're getting a lot for what you're donating. Again, I want to give to people that are giving to me. Divorced, you getting divorced, baby. All mediating perks, the separated perks, filed perks, film festival ticket to any festival Divorce Diaries is accepted in. So you get a ticket. If you're paying $550, if you're donating that amount of money, you're getting a festival ticket. What if we get into Sundance and you live in Florida? Well, we'll work those details out. We're definitely going to give you a ticket. I don't know if we can pay for your airfare, but we're going to get you a ticket. That's for sure. And then you get a choice of Healing Through Humor or Self-Expression course, which is valued at $625. So I run a program called Healing Through Humor at North Jersey Health and Wellness, and I started it there. And I also do private sessions on my own under Divorce Diaries. And if you Google, if you go to my website, you can see where I do the workshop. I decided to offer this to whoever pays this money as a 6-week course where they work with me for 6 weeks on their own humor piece. Or they can choose self-expression course, which is similar, except we use other mediums besides comedy. I've been a trained dancer, and I've worked through from Shakespeare to musical theater to children's theater my whole life and trained in that. So I decided to create these 2 options because maybe somebody has they'd like to filter out their their challenges in life through creative writing, or dance, and then we can use that course to focus on that. It's great. I've done it with adults, I've done it with children, and it really helps people feel motivated and productive in life. So again, you're donating into my love of my life. I want to give back. Now, the next level is divorced twice. You get divorced twice. I don't know if you can see the yellow, that little bottom part. It says divorced twice. You donate $1,000, all divorce perks, Healing Through Humor and Self-Expression course, value. You get both courses. That's 12 weeks, okay, of courses valued at $1,250. You get executive producer credit. What does that mean? That's a private conversation between me and the donor. If they want to have a buy-in of the show, if they just want their name attached to it, how that looks. I've developed this specific level because we really need donors at that level at the point that we're at. So $1,000 donation is a conversation that we have of like, well, these are the perks, and how, you know, what do you want your executive producer credit role to be? And then trial is the last one. You go to trial. A lot of divorce cases in New Jersey have not gone to trial, according to my divorce attorney, but also according to my divorce attorney, he told me I'd get my money right away. I got it a year later. So I don't know. So the trial is all other level perks. You get a buy-in of the show. The percentage is agreed upon between myself, the creative team, and them, you know, and then there's of course an executive producer credit. That's $5,000 and up. If what a buy-in means is if the show gets sold, you get that percentage of what it's sold to. So.
Wow, that's fantastic that you've got all these different levels for all, you know, different donations. It's really good. And I think in the backstory interview, just before we finish the main interview, let's really talk about your journey in actually teaching special needs. And I think you have a puppet somewhere to hand, and which no doubt you. Oh, there we go.
I'm not a puppet. I am a puppet actor.
Okay, I'm so sorry, Tessa, for I hope I didn't insult you too much there. So we can talk to Tessa, and we can also talk about this. I love this idea of healing through humor and self-expression course. I mean, that just sounds something that we'll cover in the backstory. So
awesome.
just to finish off the main interview today, Talk Funding has been talking to Michele from Divorce Diaries, who's live on GoFundMe. It's a really entertaining journey through divorce and looking after special needs, especially a child, and also teaching at the same time as well. And it's live on GoFundMe until the end of May. And it really is to fund a really unique TV pilot. So
we'll probably keep it going in June, just because we're going to keep it going if we don't hit the goal.
Yeah, but you're going to hit production in mid-June, isn't it?
We have to hit by June 1st to figure out how we're going to shoot. We're going to shoot no matter what. But it's very tricky to shoot for less than.
Yes.
Very tricky.
Well, there you go, Talk Funders. It's very tricky. So we need to give the donations in now, right away, for the Divorce Diaries with the lovely Michele. Thank you so much, Michele.
Thank you, Alan.
Okay, bye.